Right, a recording has been started, it says here in front of me. This is Ustream.tv recording of the CarryPad, netbooknews.com, Meet Mobility Live tablet session part 1. We've got an absolute stack of tablets in front of us here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... But we're into double figures, right?
Exactly.
Sasha Pallenberg from Netbook News is with me in the studio. First guest ever in the studio. And it's an absolute pleasure to...
I made it. Thank you. It's an honor, Steve.
And you've got jet lag as well, so you could fall asleep at any time, yeah?
Yeah. I just arrived this noon.
Yeah? From Taiwan?
Yeah.
Wow. Long journey. So we're going to do it in 3 parts. First part will be overview of the tablets. Then we'll do a 10-inch fight and a 7-inch fight. It's casual, unsponsored this evening. We own all of these tablets between our blogs.
We bought them.
And we have no one to thank but you for watching.
Yeah.
And a kind of request to, spread the word about netbooknews.com, carrypad.com, and meetmobility.com. Podcast every 2 weeks on meetmobility.com. Please tune in. 140, 150 people watching, so thanks everyone for joining in. Hope it's enjoyable. Chat sessions going on in the background. We'll try and keep an eye on that. But let's kick it off by taking an overview of the devices we've got here. Sasha, do you want to start?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Maybe we can switch over to the other camera?
Yep.
Oh,
yes. We have dual cameras here.
So, okay, here we go. So, of course, we have to start with the bestseller. That's the iPad 2. I bought this back in March. And I already had the first generation of the iPad. That's the one that Joanna Stern bought for herself and actually reboxed it again, so I can unbox it again. But that's the second generation.
A low-rate unboxing.
How Absolutely. And what you already notice is that I have an anti-glossy foil. That's the Moshi Eye Visor. I think that's the name of it. That's around $30, and this is definitely something that you want to get if you want to use your tablet in the bright sunlight. And what I really love about this is, when the surface of a glossy tablet is kind of dry, right, and you just can't swipe over it.
Yep.
This foil has something called Easy Swipe, and it's just fantastic. It adds so much extra, usability to it. I can use it outside. It's easier to navigate. Unfortunately, I can't switch it on again. We are so well prepared. I have totally forgot to recharge the iPad 2. The other thing that I can show you right now is, right, when we are already talking about accessories, I got this new little sleeve here. That's the Moshi Concerti. I got rid of this smart cover.
Nice color.
I know. That was especially for you, right?
I'm a little bit worried about having you sitting next to me.
Well, you're the one that's always slipping down underneath the desk, right? So I'm not sure about that. So I got rid of the smart cover, but because it completely sucks. And the funny thing is, 75% of iPad 2 buyers are also getting a smart cover. So that's quite amazing. It works out for Apple. I think it's a piece of crap. That's why I got a decent cover. It's protecting the front. It's protecting the back. I can use it in different angles here. You can see that. So that's pretty neat. And you can also hold it like this. Slip your hand in there. So you can hold it with one hand. I know it looks a little bit funny, but when I've been waiting at the airport in a line, I've been doing it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's very easy, so I can still navigate and browse the web. So, it is the bestseller. It is still, in my opinion...
Can we just get it out of the case and kind of like make it naked? Say nothing.
I'm not sure where this is going. Oh, look, it is a little bit recharged for 2%.
So this starts at, and we're going to talk about European pricing tonight, I guess, and off-the-shelf pricing, not subsidized pricing.
Can we switch to the other camera? So I can show you this tablet at full brightness right now with this anti-glossy foil. Let's see, here's the brightness. Okay. Can you see that? I think that's a pretty good shot right now. So it still looks great.
It does look
the,
good.
The screen is fantastic. The viewing angle is not changing, and I tell you what, I've been capable of getting this foil on bubble free in 2 seconds. We have a video on YouTube where I'm doing it seriously in 2 seconds. And yeah, the cool thing about the iPad is, I mean, look how thin it is. It is super light, and compared to any other tablet, it's so superior in terms of, in my opinion, in terms of product design, how it feels. The performance is also amazing. When we're taking a look at the overall features of the iPad 2 together with the application ecosystem, it is probably the best tablet that you can buy.
So
for
this
your money.
is your almost hit the ground running type of tablet. There's still that issue of the uTunes install process, right?
Right.
Getting
I
it
hate
going.
it.
Yeah. But you know you're not going to make a mistake by buying an iPad 2 or suggesting an iPad 2 for someone, right? I mean,
No.
It comes with cachet is the word. I mean, an air of quality that everyone agrees with. Regardless of the details, the technical details, it does come with this kind of quality factor that you'll be proud of having with an iPad 2, right?
I seriously also believe that you can't even make a mistake recommending someone an iPad 1 for $379.
$369.
$369. That is a fantastic price.
Yeah, it's actually killer price.
Yeah.
So let's move on again. Let's quickly go through. We want to do the whole lot in maybe 10 minutes.
Let's do the 10-inch ones. That's a Asus Eee Pad Transformer. Let me switch it on. It's over here. And let me get the screen to full brightness so you guys can also see something here. There we go. What I like about the Transformer is Asus did a little bit of tweaking. Wait, over here, a little bit of tweaking with Honeycomb, so we have different little icons over here to go to the home screen, to open up these all these applications that are running right now. They have their own little email widget, calendar widget, and weather widget, and it makes it look pretty nice and clean and whatnot. The build quality is really great. I love this plastic surface of the background. It's easy to hold. It has a 5 megapixel camera over here. I think it's a 2 megapixel or 1.2 megapixel camera on the front. I'm always mixing up. That's a 32 gigabyte version. And there will also be a 16 gigabyte version, Wi-Fi only at the moment.
Yep.
There will be 3G versions, and definitely when you want to look into it with the docking station, I think that's really cool, because this is a wheeled smartbook. Now with the Asus Eee Pad, we're talking about 8.5 hours, up to 9 hours of battery life. Together
in use, yeah.
Yes, together with the docking station, you're getting 16 hours of it, because there's also another battery in the docking station. So you have a wheeled smartbook, 16 hours of battery life, and I think that is fantastic. I really like the Asus Eee Pad Transformer right now. This is my recommendation for an Android tablet.
So that's funny, because you know, of the 10-inch Honeycomb tablets that I've tested, they are so much alike. There's very little between them, and personally, I actually like the Galaxy Tab 10.1 most, because it's the lightest of the three that are out, right? But this is really great value. €489 right now for the 16 gig version in Europe, which is
well, let me tell you something about these prices, because I can see right now it's Pixmania. Pixmania is one of these shops that are always trying to get up the devices first, right? This price makes no sense at all. The 16 gigabyte version of the Asus Eee Pad Transformer will start officially way below €450. I'm even guessing a price of $399. I think these should be the official prices. The 32 gigabyte version should be at $479 or something like that. So, you know what? Don't do any pre-orders on this device right now. Any shop that is going to list it right now, especially these weirdos from Pixmania, just don't do it, right? It makes no sense. They're really squeezing the money out of here right now.
It's difficult to actually find the Transformer in stock anywhere right now, right?
No, it's not. It's not available in Germany right now.
The Transformer.
Oh, it's not available all over. What's the UK price? Wasn't it like £379 or £429?
Let's have a look across Europe. We are looking at 428, equivalent of about 428 euros, cheapest.
Yeah.
That's for the 16. For the 32 gig, there's no one really offering that. Expansys in the UK, 515 equivalent.
So as I told you,
euros.
You should expect a euro price for the 16 gigabyte version way below 450 euros. Don't make any pre-orders right now. These devices are not available at the moment. They're producing them, and by the mid of June, the shortage will be over, and you will definitely be able to get your hands on an Asus Eee Pad Transformer.
So let's move along then. That's the Transformer, a quick overview. And now here's the other 10.1-inch low-cost honeycomb tablet. It's the Acer Iconia Tab A500, which is around 500 euros for the 32 gig Wi-Fi, no 3G version of it in Germany. I bought this from, where did I buy? Amazon, I think I bought it from.
What are the difference? These are only minor difference. Well, first of all, Acer is using the plain Google Experience honeycomb, so you have the traditional little home buttons and go back buttons and whatnot. What I like about the Iconia Tab is the fantastic case.
Yeah, that's really
quality.
quality.
That's a brushed aluminum. It's very solid. It's well built. It's a pretty decent device. It has less battery life, like just between half an hour and an hour compared to the Eee Pad Transformer, but that's about it. It has more pre-installed apps.
Yep. And it does have this kind of categorization of apps into their sort of like window system, which is nothing more than really sub-windows that for grouping apps. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can do that on separate windows within Honeycomb itself, but they've pre-installed a couple of apps. I think Pulse was on there. There's a music recognition software, a couple of other things as well. I like it. I was looking at the two devices today thinking, what are the differences? There's very little difference in weight. There's about 40 grams difference in weight. There's no difference in price. For the same price, you'll get a full USB port on the A500. You'll get 32 gig instead of 16 gig storage. But then you don't get the ability to put the keyboard in. It's got the USB keyboard capability, and I've tested it with a USB keyboard that works. But if you want to use that sort of smart book, and that's the thing that's kind of making people a little bit more interested about the Transformer, right? Is this ability to turn it into a smart book.
It is very unique. I promise you one thing. In the second half of this year, you will be able to buy these devices below 400 euros. These are going to be €399 devices very, very soon.
Totally agree. The parts costs of these are no more than a netbook, much less than a less. I'd say 20% less than a netbook, and a netbook's coming in at around $150 for parts cost. So there's a lot of room for maneuver on these.
You know what is quite
right?
interesting? If we compare them directly, hold on, I'm just getting them over here on the desk. What you can see right now is that the Transformer is a little bit wider.
Yep.
This is because they need to match the width of the keyboard. They're using the same keyboard as Asus is using in the EPC line, the 10-inch EPC.
Right.
So just to match this, the Transformer is a little bit wider, but that's no problem at all. I think both of them are kind of couch surfing devices. This is something that I want to use on a couch, but together with the docking station, that's a huge advantage that you that you're getting with the Eee Pad Transformer.
Right, so that's the A500. What else have we got here? Let's move on to the 7-inch devices. We won't be covering the those huge 10-inch ones that we've got here. These
straight out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, we'll put those to one side
for later.
Let's focus on this kind of like consumer level stuff that we've got here.
Okay,
so,
I think we should mention
our good old
kind of
friend.
the very first popular 7-inch tablet
ever,
and the first popular tablet ever besides the iPad.
Yes.
And that was definitely the Samsung Galaxy Tab.
Yeah.
They were the ones to step up and go into the ring with the iPad, and they got this one out, and I think it's still a fantastic device.
Oh, absolutely. I've been using it for nearly 7 months now. I've used it every day for the last 7 months, and it's become really a companion, a buddy for me. I reckon about 2 million of them must have been sold by now. If you look at the online retailers, especially in Europe, this is the one that's in more retailers than any other tablet. And that includes the iPad, it includes anything else.
And
this
it's selling.
Thing is selling like hotcakes.
Especially in Germany, you can buy this one right now, the Wi-Fi version, on Amazon for 285 euros. And I think the 3G version is around 360 euros.
Yep.
I tell you one thing, even though that this is now running, it just got an update for Gingerbread.
Yep, it's running Gingerbread now.
It's only a Cortex A8 1 gigahertz processor. I tell you one thing, for this price, you can't go wrong. If you're getting the 3G version, I think it's unbeatable.
It's the best. It's the best value tablet out of any tablet out there. I think right now. It's mature, it's reliable, it's got quality software in addition to Android stuff. It's got strong Wi-Fi, strong 3G. Great bit of hardware from Samsung. And
absolutely. And it has good applications.
Yeah.
I think the email application is fantastic.
And the difference between this and the Honeycomb, of course, this is running the smartphone operating system, let's say, the smartphone operating system. But because it's only 7-inch, I find that the apps scale quite well. You don't... Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about Honeycomb on 7-inch tablets. I'm not sure that it's gonna have to be done very well to make a difference. I rarely use the Galaxy Tab in landscape mode. And landscape mode is the only mode where really the dual panes come into use.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm just happy to use a single pane in portrait mode. And we should quickly talk about the difference between 10 and 7. I mean, to me, it's just mobility, home, right? 7-inch is mobility, 10-inch is home, and what I mean by that is Wi-Fi hotspot, not moving around too much. This little thing, I was walking towards the hotel and sending you a G-Talk message as I walked through into the hotel today with that, and it's not too big. It's not embarrassing. It's not
at all.
It's absolutely great. It's actually become my smartphone now.
This is the tablet for the mobile warrior. No, seriously. This can even be a kind of productivity device while you are mobile. Even though that I would never say it for a tablet, but I did like pictures, I did little blog postings with it.
I've done big blog posts. I did a blog post this morning on it.
I just love it. I think it's a great device. It's a great battery life. I need to tell you one thing. Since I got all these Honeycomb devices right now, and the Playbook and the Apple iPad 2. You know what I'm doing with it? I'm using it as the biggest MiFi on earth because I put this one into my backpack, and I'm opening a Wi-Fi hotspot on it, and I'm getting 10 hours of battery life. That's a 10-hour Wi-Fi hotspot for me, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the old MiFi was a great idea, and 4 hours was good, but 10 hours is way better.
Absolutely. But still, you know what? If you want to get a cheap tablet, and if you want to be mobile, if you want to have something that you can put into your pocket, still consider this device. Some people are going to tell you, you need to get a Honeycomb device, you need to get dual core, whatever. This is a fantastic device. And when you're not into the newest Tegra Zone games, right, look at it. This one is still faster in terms of CPU, GPU than the very first iPad.
Right. And with Gingerbread, it's even faster now.
Absolutely. It flies. Really cool device.
From flies to flyer?
You know what? Oh, gosh. You're a pro when it comes to transitions. I've
been waiting 20 minutes for you to say flies.
So, the HTC Flyer. The very first tablet from HTC.
No. They've had a 7-inch HTC Shift. Remember that?
Well, that was a kind of MID, wasn't it?
That was a UMPC.
That was a UMPC. Right.
And they've also had 5-inch tablet phones based on Windows CE as well.
That's
Remember
true.
Those? So, wrong.
I got it. Zonk.
But anyway, first Android tablet from HTC. And so I've had this about 2 days. I guess I better quickly talk over this one. I've had it for about 2 days. €650 I paid for it. And now remember, this is off the starting blocks. This is manufacturer's recommended retail price. It's only dumbasses like bloggers and journalists that take... do you want me to switch the camera on that?
Yeah.
That take devices in the first week that they're launched. Price will go down on this very quickly. So bear in mind that when you're thinking about pricing. 650 or whatever it was, euros, 32 gigs, 3G... plus, of course, the key features on this one, the pen and digitizer layer, as modelled by Sasha Pallenberg here of Netbook News. Very nice job you're doing there, I have to say. He doesn't realise that now he's done a snapshot, and he probably won't be able to get out of that now. Go on, get out of that.
I can do it. Here we go.
1.5 Snapdragon CPU, 1.5 gigahertz, sorry. It's not dual core. It's running Android 2.34 or 2.33, 2.34 I believe.
Yeah.
Because it's got Skype video support in it. And it's a flyer. It really is a flyer. It's as fast as the Honeycomb tablets in browsing. I mean, I noticed some theoretical speed improvements in things like SunSpider, but you can actually feel it on the browser. It's 2 seconds faster per page on average than the Samsung Galaxy Tab, and that is quite significant. That is, 10 to 20% that you really notice. So this is a faster device, and I think this is quite future-proof through 2011 if we consider that they are actually thinking of upgrading this to Honeycomb as well. Consider price drop. The other key features on it, the pen and sketch mode integrate with Evernote in the back end, so your sketches are put up into the cloud where they can be character recognized. OCR happens in the cloud from Evernote, so you can scribble notes on things, and it will hopefully do the OCR on that. What other things have I got to mention on this? No HDMI out. In fact, no video out at all, as far as I know, on this, unless it's in the 3.5mm headphone ports. Maybe there's a composite out in there, but I don't think there is. Slightly optimized browser. There's a couple of other key sort of apps. I said Skype video is included on that, and it's a very, very smooth tablet. The only problems I have with it right now are, number one, the price. Hopefully that problem will be solved soon. But number two is the fact that the pen is separate from the device, and you can't stow it anywhere.
That's a huge problem.
It's a major problem. And the second issue with the pen is, second issue has got a battery in it. That's going to run out at some point.
Yeah.
The third issue is and Chris Davies of Slashgear hit the nail on the head. There's a discontinuation between the pen and the pen optimized apps and the actual tablet themselves. It feels like it's a retrofitted pen layer over Android. There's one or two apps that integrate quite nicely into it. Notes, for example, they have a PDF reader that allows you to actually annotate the PDF itself and resave the PDF. But apart from that, what you're doing with most apps is putting the pen on it. It takes a snapshot, and then you can actually start scribbling over the top and then share that JPEG or whatever it is up into to Evernote or into any other.
How many times are you using it?
Well, I've been using tablets for many years now, and I've never really got into pen stuff.
Exactly.
The people that get into pen stuff, in my opinion, are the people that want handwriting recognition on the fly. They want to enter forms, data into forms, and that sort of stuff. And this doesn't go that far.
It's actually even a little bit disturbing. Can you switch on the other camera again? I would like to show the guys some. Okay, here we go. Now watch out. Like Shippy told you already, you're hitting it. It's taking a screenshot of the actual application or website or whatever you're doing, and then you can, write around here, and you could share it, right? So the problem is, look at this.
You can't actually.
Now I need to use my fingers again to actually share it or to discard it or whatever. I think it just makes no sense. It looked like a very cool feature at the beginning while we saw it on paper.
Yeah.
We got kind of excited about this. Hey, that's an active digitizer. That's pretty interesting. But right now, I have to tell you, what? Screw this one over here.
Yeah.
Let's focus on this tablet. And I would definitely like to point out, well, first of all, what I've been showing you in terms of the render speed of the browser. how fast the accelerometer is kicking in. I tell you what, there is no honeycomb tablet right now, in my opinion, that is as fast as this HTC Flyer at the moment. I'm a fan of the HTC Sense UI.
Sense is another huge bit of value, and this is really cool. This is the first tablet that I've had out of the box for more than 2 hours without downloading an application. It had Twitter pre-installed, not just HTC's Sense Twitter, but the real Twitter client. I believe Skype is pre-installed. There are a number of apps there, such as mucking around, that actually allow you to really hit the road running on this. And that's really cool, because you can bring this out of the box, you can sync your Google account, and you can be up and running within 10 minutes, and really you can walk out the door with this. So HTC Sense. Just to prove that you're not about to spit beer all over my face. It's got some fun apps. HD camera on it, 720p,
that's a good one.
with continuous autofocus and touch to select autofocus while you're recording.
So you can really do some fun pictures with it.
That picture is worth 600 euros. I can probably grab that and tweet that right now.
I have to tell you, I also like the build quality. This is a unibody case.
Yep.
So we have that's plastic over here, but the rest of it, all of this is a unibody aluminum case, and it feels very, very good. It feels very solid, and I like this with 3G. I think it's a really cool device. And what I like about HTC, they know that they have a very, very strong front end for Android with HTC Sense, and they are taking all their time until Honeycomb is for them on this level where they think, you know what, it makes sense now for us to really use Honeycomb. And since then, or until then, they would stay with Gingerbread right now, and it's goddamn fast, and it makes sense. It's good.
Yeah, it is. I don't like the build quality. I like the build quality. I don't like the style compared to the Samsung Galaxy Tab. I think these white bits on the front and back, and certainly the case, this white case you've got with it, I don't like that either. Access to the micro SD card means pulling this off, and it is really difficult to get off. So it's not something you can plug in, and unplug on a regular basis. The SD card. So think about that. There was one other thing. I mentioned the camera. Speakers are so. But in general, it's you know what they should do? They should sell the HTC Flyer Wi-Fi version or 3G version without the pen, without all this digitizer stuff.
Yeah.
Reduce their part costs and just cut the price right down to compete with the Galaxy Tab, because that could take over from the Galaxy Tab if it was at the right price, right?
Now this must come down way below, in my opinion, way below 500. I would even say 400, because I mean, the Asus Eee Pad Transformer, the Acer Iconia tab, they will be $399.
Yeah, there's no justification. It
makes no sense to. That's 1280 by 800. So this should be more expensive, actually.
Yeah.
I still like it. I still see a huge market space for 7-inch devices. I think they're getting more and more popular right now, and it's just a cool, very first shot that HTC gave us for this market.
Yeah, I expect to see a 10-inch from them, don't you?
Oh yeah, they will definitely have a 10-inch form.
Let's go on to, and this is probably a first. Has anyone done a live review of the BlackBerry Playbook yet? It's not even available in the UK. I think where is it available right now? Actually, I'm going to turn to
just in the US.
Just going to turn to the chat room. It's available in the US, right? Not in Europe. But where did you get this one from?
Oh, I bought it in the US at Best Buy, just last Wednesday.
Oh, wow! So hot off the shelves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we take a little? First thing we should do is look at the size of it and just put the Galaxy Tab up against it, because I think that's a good starting point for this device, and then we can talk about the software and stuff like that. But this is, I think, very important to point out. It's a bit difficult to see, maybe. I don't know if I can... it is difficult to see, but maybe you could talk around the size differences.
Just believe me, it's a little bit higher, it's a little bit wider than the Galaxy Tab,
There you go.
Watch out if I'm just turning it around. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's mainly because the bezel of it is just bigger. Because what BlackBerry does is they have a couple of touch gestures that you have to, do in this bezel.
Yeah.
And we're going to show this to you some later. It makes perfect sense. But therefore, it's just a little bit bigger. It's thinner than the Galaxy Tab. It has a nice kind of, I would say, ruggedized, rubbery back.
Rubberized plastic, yeah.
That's pretty neat. The design is very simple. I think it looks very classic. It looks very...
I think it looks a little bit framey. You know what I mean? Too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
The frame to screen ratio just smacks of cheap Chinese tablets to me.
That's a good one. Yeah, over here it has also an HDMI out. There should be a future docking station. We have a volume control over here on the top. Jack for the microphone or headset.
What have we got in terms of processing power, memory, storage, etc.?
So that's a Texas Instruments dual core processor in here, and I think this one is running at 1.2 gigahertz.
Right. TI 3400 single core or dual core? Do you know? Dual core. I think.
That's a dual core.
Right.
Cortex A9.
QNX is the OS. You might as well switch it on, and we'll have a look. Sasha got pretty excited today when I met him, and the first thing he pulled out of his bag while we were parking in the car park was the BlackBerry Tab, and I had to have a quick demo of it. And it is pretty bloody fast, right? That whole UI experience is faster than... I mean, it's iPad standard, right? It's iPad quality in terms of...
It is faster than the iPad.
It's faster than the iPad.
Absolutely. While the iPad 2... first of all, the first iPad was setting a benchmark, then the iPad 2 kicked in, setting a new benchmark. I tell you what, in terms of performance, in whatever you're using, when it comes to web browsing, or whatever future application you want to use on a tablet, I don't know what kind of application they're gonna develop for it. This is right now the fastest tablet that is on the market. You can let me just show you a little bit about the GUI.
I just want to correct the CPU. The CPU is OMAP 4430.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. 16 gig storage, 1 gig of
that's
RAM.
That's a 1 gigahertz one.
Yeah, 400 grams, nice and light as well.
Yeah.
So give us a UI demo. Let's see if we can.
Let's see what the...
Maybe turn one of the lights off to improve that. Ow! That bulb was hot. All right, go for it.
Okay. Let's see. Can you zoom in a little bit? Okay.
So
Perfect.
bear in mind, listeners, we've got a 1024 by 600 screen, and you're watching it on a 480 by 360 broadcast, 25 frames a second.
So first of all, when you're just booting up the Playbook for the very first time, that's what you're about to see. It looks like all these other tablets. It kind of reminds you in terms of GUI of the iPad, right? So I think there was... Well, first of all, I couldn't see any difference to an iPad. There were only a couple of apps pre-installed. I installed a bunch of apps. The app world is up and running, so you can download. I think a couple of hundred apps are available right now over here. So that's the first screen. It's all, and then we have favorites over here, and media and whatnot. Of course, a couple of games too. So let me just show you a little bit about the gestures, and therefore I'm going to open, let's say, a browser. You know what, it would kind of help if I'm getting the login for the Wi-Fi, Steve, but you know what, I'm going to show you the very first gestures right now. You're always getting back to the home screen when you're just swiping from the bottom into the screen. You see that? And when you're doing it again, the applications are coming up. And let's go back to the browser. The other gesture is from the bottom left corner into the middle, then the keyboard comes up.
Oh, nice.
And you're doing it again.
Does that work in every app?
In every application.
Right.
When it comes to settings of applications, what you're doing is you're just swiping from the top into the middle, and you're always opening up the settings of each and every application. So very, very simple gestures, and I think it makes just perfect sense. I don't need to look for any kind of setting buttons. I don't need to look for a button to come up with the keyboard or to go back to my home screen. There are no buttons. There are no physical buttons nor non-physical buttons around the BlackBerry Playbook. All you're about to do is using these gestures. And let me just log into the Wi-Fi here. Okay, that's the one. Oh, I got so excited I spit a little bit on the screen. Oh,
so
by the way, what I also love. Now look at the keyboard. Well, first of all, everybody knows right now the password of Steve's Wi-Fi. Actually, that's also the password he's using for the CarryPad and UMPC portal backend and for his credit card. What I like about this is, now watch out, I'm switching over to symbols and numbers. Now look at this. Can you see this? I have all the numbers here in the reach of my thumb.
Right.
And not in a row.
That's nice.
It makes it so much easier to type. It is, without a doubt, well, I can do perfect thumb typing on this device.
In landscape mode, or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Can you put it to portrait? I want to see the
course.
keyboard in portrait. Okay, and then, all right, there you go. That's nice. Has it got haptics? Doesn't? No haptics on the keyboard, but it is.
And then you can switch on.
You've got audible feedback,
right?
But it's super responsive, and that's really important for on-screen
keyboards.
It
is super responsive.
Is it multi-touch? Can I do?
I think so.
Yes, it's multi-touch keyboard, which is also very helpful.
Let me just try to get in the
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi password again.
You're all free to use my Wi-Fi.
And let's connect. Oh, by the way, the settings over here that you can see, well, it also comes with an HDMI out. You can also pair it, connect it to another BlackBerry device, so that's pretty cool. But now I'm connected to the internet, and now I would like to show you a little bit about performance. Let's go to YouTube, the website. Of course, what else? Of course, it's a website. And I mean, this is all Flash, right? So we are not getting forwarded to any kind of HTML5 version. Let's check out a 1080p video. Okay.
This is 1080p via Flash.
Via Flash
on YouTube. So
now watch out. This is now 360, right? Okay, I'm going to.
The speakers are pretty nice.
Oh, the speakers are fantastic. Now I'm going to full screen. This is 360, yeah?
Just gonna mic that up.
Now watch out, guys. Now let's go to 720. Give it a little bit of time because Steve is downloading all this porn over torrent at the moment, so we have a little bit limited bandwidth at the moment. Now this is 720p right now. Look at this. 720p Flash. Okay, let's switch over to 1080p, and you know what, Cupertino, eat this. So it takes a while again. Okay, let's do a little bit more of buffering. Now let's go for 1080p. 1080p Flash video, and I'm putting this into the background.
Oh wow.
And I'm opening up and going back again.
That is something
and
you can't even do
again.
on a laptop. They've got that well optimized. That's fantastic. Wow.
I've never ever seen anything like this, and this is setting the new benchmark for performance in a mobile device. I've never ever seen anything like this before, and I'm blown away.
No,
I'm just blown away. And again, look at this, right? I mean, how cool is that?
It's impressive. Remember, 1080p on YouTube though isn't that heavyweight. It's only about 2 megabits per second, 2.5 megabits per second, depending on the video. So it's not your full Blu-ray kind of standard, but to be able to do that, I've seen that on that 1080p flash experience, I've seen it on Fusion devices, but we're talking about a different class, different category of computers there. Nice. We should hook that up to the HDMI later.
Oh yeah, we should do that. I tell you what,
the porn's going to look great.
The screen, the display quality, the screen quality is absolutely fantastic.
The audio quality I was quite impressed
Yeah.
with as well. That's loud and good. And I'm just going to have a quick. I'm going to get the.
Let's get some more apps running here.
Let's have an app party.
Let's have an app party, and let's also come up with a game. All right, let's get this Need for Speed Undercover on here too. Okay, now look at this. So I have all these apps running here. Yeah. I have a couple of DivX files. You know, it's almost doing a playback of each and every codec that I know. Let's do another HD video here. Believe me, just the image quality is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Now look at this. I can also swipe from one task to the other. Oh, oops. Now I'm going to pictures. Now I'm going back to the avatar. And it's immediately starting. Actually, what I can also do is I can set it up in the settings that all these apps are not getting into this freeze mode and immediately starting as soon as you're switching them on again, but they're continuously
running concurrently.
Yeah.
So a true multitasking OS. The windowing system still is only a one-pane windowing system. You can't run two apps side by side. Although I guess in the manager you are seeing a certain amount of multitask windowing, but that's impressive in terms of video performance. We should point out that on the Honeycomb devices, so far there is no codec support outside what AOS supports, Android open source. So that's basically H.264, I think, basic profile, and then H.263 as well. So there's no DivX, no WMV, no MKV container support, and a lot of the things like lossless codecs. Something had a lossless codec update recently. Was it the Zoom and its 3.1 update? I'm not sure.
Now let's go to a website with a lot of flash. That should be what is it? Flashgames.com. Let's check that out. In terms of browsing experience, I think, well, this is right now the superlative.
It's impressive. How much was it?
That is $4.99 US.
So I'm just going to look up price in Europe. So we have got some prices for Europe, starting at €435 for the Wi-Fi 16 gig. So not overpriced. I mean, there's room for manoeuvre there, and we've got to consider the fact that there isn't a huge choice of apps, right? But if you manage to find like a Twitter app, how about sharing? Can you share images up to Flickr, for example? There's a sharing subsystem there. Calendar sync, Google accounts, anything like that support.
Oh, look at this. There are two flash banners running on my side over here. That's netbooknews.com, right? You can see this Lenovo flash banner, and there is this whatever it is flash banner. And do we have any more flash banners here? Maybe when I'm clicking into an article. No lack of speed. It is just running perfectly. I'm absolutely happy with it. Oh, here's another flash banner coming up. Well, it's still loading the site right now, but believe me, the performance is just great. Now watch out, pinch to zoom. Or how about watching us on Ustream?
Oh dear.
Here we go.
Okay, that's how bad. Oh,
look at this.
Can we go full screen with that?
Of course.
Oh, better than I thought.
It is just really cool.
And the tablet's not bad either.
So yeah, well, there's a lack of applications. I have a weird.
So hold on, because we're going to get into a bit of a 7-inch fight later on, right? So we can go into some more details. I was hoping this was going to be like a 10-minute overview. I forgot I had Sasha sitting here. Have we covered everything? That's the iPad 2, the Galaxy Tab 7, the HTC Flyer, BlackBerry Playbook, the Iconia Tab A500, and the Acer Transformer.
We got them all.
Did we forget anything? You have the Zoom as well. Why didn't you bring the Zoom?
Well, I just need to switch on this Ustream, this live stream that is still running in the background, right? I love multitasking, guys. Look at this.
No, we're running in the background on the Playbook. I better show you that.
It is just amazing. I just love it. Look at this.
So there's us live on the Playbook in. Actually, I'm surprised at the quality, to be honest. I didn't think this was looking that professional. Oh, I better up my game. So listen, that is a rundown of the tablets that we've got here. What we're going to do now is we're going to stop the live video recording. First, we're going to say thanks to everyone for watching. You're probably watching this on a recorded version in YouTube. I know there's plenty of people here watching live. In fact, we had 1,200 people join us through that session. Yeah. There's 250 people still watching. Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
We're now going to go to the chat session. We're going to finish this video. We're going to go to the chat session and try and answer some questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we'll have another video after this. MeetMobility.com, netbooknews.com, carrypad.com. Thanks for watching. This is part 1 of part 3 of 3 parts. Tablet Wars, tablet session, live session. But stop talking, Steve.